Now, KCP during a sit-down was asked about the star power of Tyrese Halliburton, and with him giving his answer to this question, a real truth began to reveal itself as he discussed Donovan Mitchell's star power. And I've always alluded that Spida for a long time now has been living off the reputation he had in his rookie year, eliminating Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, and Paul George in the playoffs. Ever since then, it's been a bunch of heartbreaking first-round exits. During the 2018-19 season, they lost 4-1 against the Rockets. Then during the 2020 bubble, they end up losing in 7 games against the Denver Nuggets, who were on their come-up. Then the following season, which was even more heartbreaking, was them losing 4-2 against the Clippers, especially with Kawhi Leonard not playing the last 2 games. So that series was tied up 2-2, and Paul George was still able to carry the Clippers over the hump, eliminating the Utah Jazz. Then in the following calendar year, the 2021-2022 season, Jalen Brunson on his rise was still able to carry the Mavericks, being up 2-1 after the first 3 games. And within the early portion of that battle, he was able to outperform Donovan Mitchell, especially with that 41-point game performance. And eventually Luka came back into the lineup to finish up the series, and that became the end of that Utah Jazz season, because after following their elimination, not only Rudy Gobert was traded, but also Donovan Mitchell. Then in the following season, the 2022-2023 calendar year, Mitchell once again in the Eastern Conference this time, lost to Jalen Brunson for yet another first-round exit. And finally, in the 2024-2025 season, the Cavs had a dominant year, which they sat on top of the Eastern Conference for the whole season, but yet suffered a 4-1 loss to the Indiana Pacers. So there's definitely a referendum on Donovan Mitchell as far as his star power and his ability to lead a team past a certain point in the playoffs. Interesting enough, KCP had brought it up, and that's the beautiful thing about this player podcast landscape. The shit talking and some of the sentiments are going to spill out from time to time, and it makes for great, interesting conversation.
Do you categorize Halliburton as a superstar?
No. That's what we're going off of. And even I wouldn't even build a team around Donovan Mitchell either.
Why wouldn't you build one around Donovan?
He's a superstar, but to superstars can win me games. Can he do that consistently every night? Go out there and try to win me a game?
I mean,
can he average 25, 8 and 8?
Yes. Well, I don't know about 8 and 8, but I would say
Bron did his whole career.
But I'm saying Donovan Mitchell
we talking about superstars though. We talking about getting teams involved, getting players involved, going out and when my team need me to win, I'm gonna go get this win.
Now that term superstar is thrown around the NBA very loosely, not only by fans, but as well as media members. And there's always been, no matter what era, only a handful of superstars. Right now, the league really only has Giannis, SGA, Stephen Curry, Luka, and because he's still in the beginning phases of his career, but he's knocking on that door, is Anthony Edwards. And also I should throw in Kevin Durant, but these guys are on their downhill. Him and LeBron, they're on the downhill, and maybe 2 seasons from now, Stephen Curry might be off that list. But in their primes, it was Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and Kawhi Leonard. Those were really the only superstars of the, I would say, mid-2010s. Everybody else was stars and below. And once again, those kinds of players can get you over the hump, and they could basically carry you to final appearances. That's what really makes a superstar. And once again, throughout NBA history, there's only been a handful of superstars, barely, from season to season.
I can't do that with Donovan Mitchell. And I'm 50-50 with Halliburton because Halliburton can average 25, 8, and 8. I
see it.
He's just not, for me, it's not, he's clutch now, but consistently throughout the game, I need you to be consistent with shooting the ball, your playmaking, all that. I don't think he's getting there. But it's still inconsistent.
Donovan Mitchell and Tyrese Halliburton almost kind of fit in the same category. They're definitely stars, but they need the right cast members around them. Tyrese Halliburton and the way the Indiana Pacers have been constructed is actually the perfect type of casting you want around a player like that. They have a lot of system guys like Nembhard, Naismith, Mathurin coming off the bench, Ben Shepherd, Obi Toppin. Just having a lot of players not only who could defend out there in the perimeter, but they could also play in his style, that up and down tempo. They could shoot threes. Their defense as a whole can tire teams out, as they have a lot of athletic bodies that can wear down other teams' perimeter stars. Guys like Nembhard, Naismith, Mathurin, Ben Shepherd, they play great perimeter defense as a unit. And we've seen that play out in the NBA Finals. That's why it went all the way to a Game 7. And Tyrese Haliburton was literally on one leg for the last 3 games of the series. And these guys end up controlling the early portions of Game 7, even after he went out with the injury. They were still in control, but by the time it hit the third quarter, their offense basically stalled. So Donovan Mitchell, in a way, he has to be put in that same position where he needs the right ensemble of cast members around him. And the Cavs have done a great job with this. The only thing that was left was for them to execute, especially their secondary star in Darius Garland. If you match him up alongside a guy like Pascal Siakam that Tyrese Haliburton has on his team, Pascal completely dominated and had a great playoffs as a whole. Meanwhile, Darius Garland on the other end, I really can't say his performances throughout the playoffs have matched up to the work that Pascal has put in. And these type of conversations are going to get very interesting regarding to stars, because as we enter into the parity era of the NBA and just the amount of global talent coming into the league, even the amount of second round draft picks that are impacting the league, you look at guys like Jalen Brunson, Jokic, hell, even Draymond Green. Those type of stories are going to be more and more reoccurring as the talent pool continues to get really competitive on the global stage. Even look at guys like Jaime Jaquez out in Miami. Those type of guys coming into the league and still having an impact is not going to be an anomaly. But it is what it is. As far as the Cavs, they definitely have set Donovan Mitchell up. We've seen the maturation of guys like Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. But the only thing now for the Cavs is if everything can actually come together for this team. And going into the 2026 season, with Jason Tatum being out of the picture as well as Tyrese Haliburton, the lane is pretty much wide open as far as competition. They really just got the Knicks. He's going to have to make a way for his teammates to step up big in the playoffs and take his game to a whole nother level, as KCP had alluded to earlier. Because just like the Utah Jazz were actually set up around him to be a good enough team to make deep playoff runs, he's in a very similar situation in Cleveland, and now he just has to execute.